Hello, everyone. Welcome back to my channel. I hope everyone is having a nice day before we begin the video. Please subscribe and give the video a thumbs up. General Hospital spoilers see Ava Jerome, Maura West, thinking that she has scored big with her blackmail scheme, but Lucky Spencer, Jonathan Jackson, may ruin it for her. Ava might find her cash grab going bad because of Lucky. So, as we saw on GH, Alexis Davis, Nancy Lee Grahn, at first pushed back. She said she would not give in to Ava's demands. And Alexis tried to tell Ava the police wouldn't believe the circumstantial evidence pointing to Christina Corinthos Davis, Kate Monsey, cutting Rick's brake lines. But then Ava said she'd go straight to Molly Lansing Davis, Kristen Veganos, which would rip Alexis's family apart. When she heard about all this, Diane Miller, Carolyn Hennessy, said the best way to respond was to have Christina committed. She drew up papers to send her to a psychiatric facility like Shady Brook on General Hospital. Then Diane said that was the only way to keep Christina out of prison once the truth comes out. Alex's daughter almost killed Rick and Elizabeth Weber, Rebecca Herbst, aiming for Ava. Alexis was initially on board with Diane's plan. But then she felt guilty after that movie night with her girls. She realized that having Christina committed would guarantee that Molly would find out the awful thing her sister had done. So over Diane's pretty loud objection, Alexis refused to take her advice. Next, instead of committing her, Alexis decided to cover up what Christina did. And she's paying Ava's blackmail. That's exactly what Diane said is the problem. Alexis keeps cleaning up these messes and enabling her daughter's bad antics on General Hospital. Of course, Lucky knows the truth, and that could be a problem soon for this big cover-up of what Christina did. Already, Alexis paid the first installment to Ava and said she'd keep paying until she gets her back the entire divorce settlement. Remember, Valentine Cassadine, James Patrick Stewart, had gotten the settlement yanked back from Ava, and Alexis thought that that would satisfy Ava. Now, Alexis doesn't want Molly to lose another sister after losing Sam McCall, Kelly Monaco, on General Hospital. Alexis was so happy to see her daughters close again instead of Christina and Molly at odds. But because Alexis Davis left Ava waiting past the deadline, she upped the ante. Now, it'll cost Alexis more than just the divorce settlement amount. And the bottom line is Alexis can't keep this hidden forever. And she can't keep paying this blackmail on GH. No doubt, Molly's going to find out what Christina did. She almost killed Rick. Plus, there's no way Ava's going to get away with blackmail long-term. And Christina isn't going to get away with trying to commit murder. And Lucky could be why this all comes out. Although Rick wanted to call the cops, Ava's convinced Rick to keep his mouth shut. Now, Rick wants to protect Molly, and she seems happy being closer to Christina. So her dad's biting his tongue. Plus, it's a bonus for Rick to screw Alexis out of money. Other than Ava, Rick, Alexis, and now Diane, there's only one other person who knows Christina cut the brakes on Rick's car. And that person is Lucky Spencer. At first, Lucky ranted at Christina that she's gone too far. He said she needs to face consequences and pay for what she did. Of course, Lucky was furious that she almost killed Elizabeth Weber, Rebecca Herbst. But eventually Lucky agreed Christina going to prison wouldn't help anybody. So he's staying quiet, per General Hospital spoilers. But he may change his mind soon because Lucky may not be able to hide what Christina did from Liz once they're spending time together. And Rick might lead Liz to have suspicions. So if Lucky does tell Liz, she may push Lucky to turn Christina in because it's the right thing to do. Let's face it, she needs help. More than she's getting in outpatient therapy sessions. Unless she gets her head on straight, she may do something like this again. She still hates Ava, and does not seem to have a lot of self-control. We also have to remember Lucky dislikes Ava in part, because Christina insisted that Ava shot her out of a window while pregnant. If Lucky does blab, he can do it to also slap at Ava and force Christina to pay for hurting Liz. But even if it's not Lucky that spills the beans, this isn't going to stay a secret forever on General Hospital. There are other ways Molly could find out what Christina did. Alexis may ask Sonny for help to stop Ava from her blackmail demands. He may try and scare Ava into staying quiet, and she might snap and go tell Molly the truth. Even if Sonny found out where Ava hid Rick's car and had it destroyed, that won't stop it. Even if Sonny has Brick, Stephen A. Smith, delete the footage of Christina, she could go tell Molly. And Rick would back up Ava. And with the cat out of the bag, Sonny's a chance Molly could overhear Rick and Ava talking about it. Or she could hear Alexis arguing with Ava about Christina. Also, Molly could overhear Alexis and Chrissy if she confronts her daughter about what she did. And of all the ways that the truth could come out, it should be Lucky Spencer that messes up Ava's big cash grab. Lucky's got a few reasons to spill the beans. First, there's getting justice for Liz on General Hospital. Second, he may worry Christina will kill somebody the next time she acts out. Third, Lucky may not want Ava to profit off the blackmail. So he may decide that pulling off the band-aid is the best thing for everybody long-term. Even if in the short term, it causes a big explosion on the ABC soap opera. It seems inevitable Molly finds out what her sister did to her dad. And I'm betting it all comes out in May Sweeps, which kicks off late next week on General Hospital. And when Molly hears the awful truth, she may turn her back on her sister forever. But even if Lucky Spencer decides to keep the secret, this situation with Ava Jerome can't keep going as it is. And Chrissy can't get away with it. It's just a matter of time. Port Charles may be a town brimming with scandals, secrets, and schemes, but nothing stirs the waters like a returning legacy character. And Lucky Spencer's rumored comeback is already sending tremors through General Hospital's loyal fanbase. With Ava Jerome stealthily positioning herself to gain control over pieces of the Casadine fortune and influence, Lucky's reappearance may be exactly the wrench that stops her in her tracks. In the shadows of Windermere's haunted halls and under the watchful eye of Laura Collins, Ava's calculated maneuvers are drawing suspicion, and she may soon find herself entangled with someone who knows how to outplay her at her own game. Ava has always walked a dangerous tightrope between survivor and schemer. While she has spent years trying to rehabilitate her image, especially in the wake of Kiki's tragic death and her rocky alliance with Nicholas, the darker impulses have never really vanished. In the current landscape, with Nicholas presumed dead and Victor Casadine gone, Ava sees opportunity. Spencer is abroad with Trina, Esme is seemingly out of the picture, and no clear hair stands in her way, or so she thinks. Ava's goal appears simple: assert influence over the Casadine legacy, potentially claim parts of Nicholas's estate, and fortify her own power within Port Charles. But Lucky's return, should it come to fruition, could destroy her ambitions before they fully take root. The key to this growing storm is Laura Collins, who remains Port Charles's moral compass and most trusted figure. Laura has never entirely trusted Ava, and while she has tried to give her the benefit of the doubt, recent behavior from Ava has raised red flags. Ava's sudden closeness with select Casadine legal advisors, her quiet visits to Spoon Island, and her evasiveness about Nicholas's final days are all adding up to something Laura cannot ignore. Behind the scenes, it's Laura who may be pulling the strings to bring Lucky home. Not only to reconnect with his family, but to help protect a legacy that's dangerously vulnerable. Lucky Spencer's relationship with the Casadine clan has always been complex. As a Spencer, he's naturally at odds with the family who tormented his parents. But his personal history with both Nicholas and the late Stephen Casadine adds nuance. Lucky and Nicholas once saw each other as brothers, despite their tensions over Elizabeth Weber, family secrets, and shifting allegiances. Lucky's return would carry weight, not just because of who he is, but because of who he once was to Nicholas. If there's any chance that Nicholas is alive, Lucky would fight to protect his brother's legacy from anyone trying to exploit it, especially someone as unpredictable as Ava. Ava's greed isn't merely financial, It's emotional, rooted in her need for control and validation. Her failed relationships, her desperate attempts to secure her place among Port Charles' elite, and her recurring vendettas have left her constantly reaching for more. With no romantic ties grounding her and no child to soften her edges, Ava is doubling down on ambition. She's cozying up to allies like Valentine and even trying to manipulate sunny Corinthos into trusting her again. But Port Charles is a town built on memory, and the citizens remember. They remember what Ava did to Morgan, how she manipulated Kiki's relationships, how she kept secrets that changed lives. Lucky's return would put Ava face to face with someone who remembers back onto the canvas. He brings more than nostalgia. He brings a fierce sense of justice and an unwillingness to let dangerous power players run unchecked. He also has his own ghosts to confront. His complicated love story with Elizabeth Weber, his distance from his children, and the years he spent abroad on spiritual and humanitarian missions. All of that could fuel a powerful arc of redemption and reckoning. And nothing drives a Spencer more than the threat of a Cassadine-related scheme harming the ones they love. Behind all of Ava's moves lies one major secret: the truth about what really happened to Nicholas. There have been rumors that Ava knows more than she's letting on. Did she see him alive after his last disappearance? Did she help hide him? Or worse, was she involved in ensuring he'd never return? These questions could reignite long-buried rivalries and spark new investigations. And if Lucky gets wind of even one shady action on Ava's part, he will stop at nothing to expose it. For Lucky, this isn't just about revenge or legacy. It's about closure, truth, and protecting the family name. What Ava doesn't yet realize is that she's not operating in a vacuum. Others are watching. Sam McCall has noticed Ava's increased activity at Windermere. Alexis Davis, no stranger to the Cassadines or Ava's manipulations, is raising questions about the sudden changes to Nicholas's estate. And Laura isn't acting alone. She's quietly building a network of allies to ensure that the Cassadine fortune doesn't fall into the wrong hands. That network might include Dante Falconeri, who has reason to doubt Ava's intentions, and even Anna Devane, whose instincts are sharper than ever. This story is more than just a power struggle. It's a high-stakes chess game. And in this game, Lucky Spencer might be the most unexpected piece. His return could also intersect with other major storylines. What if Lucky uncovers evidence that Esme is still alive and being hidden by someone? What if he confronts Ava about her involvement in manipulating Nicholas's legal situation? And what if, in the midst of this unraveling, Ava does the unthinkable, something that leaves Port Charles forever changed? There is also the possibility that Ava's reach could extend beyond just Nicholas's estate. Rumors suggest she may try to use her growing influence to make a move on General Hospital's board or expand her media presence by regaining control of Crimson or another publication. If she's able to control public perception, she could bury any whispers of her wrongdoing. But that's exactly why Lucky's return is crucial. He's a disruptor, a wild card. A reminder that no matter how polished someone appears, the truth has a way of clawing its way to the surface. As fans eagerly anticipate this twist-filled arc, the question remains: what is Ava truly after? Is it love, legacy, power, or something darker? And will Lucky arrive in time to stop her before she goes too far? One thing is certain: Ava's game is dangerous. And if she thinks she can outmaneuver Spencer, she may be in for the shock of her life. General Hospital thrives on explosive confrontations and emotional payoffs, and the brewing storm between Ava and Lucky could deliver both in spades. With Laura at the center, torn between compassion and duty, and Ava teetering on the edge of self-destruction or supremacy, the next chapter in Port Charles is bound to be unforgettable. Lucky's return won't just change Ava's future, it will change everything. Thanks for watching this video, and please subscribe our YouTube channel for more update news.